Hello, hello. Hopefully the sound is alright. Get this tried out for the first time. So for those that are watching, welcome to the stream. Going to be jumping into the new chapter Blackwood with my sorcerer, who's level 50 and has over 1,000 champion points. I haven't done anything for Blackwood on this character. In fact, I actually haven't done anything for Blackwood at all on live. I did test it some on the PTS before it released, and so I'll be experiencing this for the first time. The only thing that I have done is I did go and unlock the companions with another character, so I knew where to go for it. So that's what we'll be doing first. Questions, just want to chat, or any problems with sound, just let me know in the chat. 4 days, 12 hours remaining to be able to reset my champion points. Don't need to do that. Out of the way. I got lots of room. Only 97 things in my inventory. Perfect. For anyone that's interested, I am running a spec that is based off of one of Hack the Minotaur specs called the Infinity build for sorcerers. It deals with doing strong attacks with your weapon and relying on critical hits for healing due to the sorcerer passive abilities and class abilities.
Dragons in your own homeland.
And the link is in the description for this video.
This one does not know, but he hopes his family.
We've already spent all of our points. Well, not all of them, because I earned a couple yesterday on another character, but all the champion points for the most part have been spent in each of the trees. I have Steed's Blessing, increasing my movement speed by 20%. Got Rationer, which adds 10 minutes to the duration of any food or drink. Treasure Hunter, increases the quality of items in chests. And Liquid Efficiency, so if I'm using a potion or poison, 10% chance that it's not consumed. From the green tree. Let's see here. And I was still spending points into Break Fall to reduce my falling damage. And I have 3. Get those out. Out of our blue tree, Warfare. Have a lot of points spent into our sub-tree. Just reminding myself, because I just set this up about a day and a half ago. We have Weapon Expert for our slotted skills. 15% damage done. Thaumaturge, 10% damage done with damage over time effects. Biting Aura, extra 10% damage for damage done with area of effects. And increased Magicka, we have an extra 1300 max Magicka, Arcane Supremacy. And I'm still spending points in here. Tireless Right, I was getting some extra max stamina for this one. Yep, that's fine. Plug those in. Fitness tree. We're looking at Boundless Vitality, an extra 1400 max health. Ironclad adds 1731 armor. Rejuvenation for 150 health, magic, and stamina recovery. And Bastion, 15% effectiveness for damage done, damage shields, and damage against shielded enemies. Here I was spending points. Nope, hasty I already got. Where was I spending points in this one? Have that. 2 points to spend. Fortification. Block mitigation. I think it was fortification I was starting to go into, so we'll dump them in there. Hey, welcome, welcome. And clear out my daily rewards for harvesting. Those, that can go away. So gear-wise, I'm using Infernal Guardian's Guise for an extra bit of offense. So that'll lob some mortars at enemies whenever I have a damage shield up, 50% of the time. No legendary gear on this character at this time. Using Mother's Sorrow for extra offense, spell damage critical. And I'm using a heavy set of armor as my primary pieces, because whenever I take damage, it's going to give me some healing back and some extra damage to my enemies. Went with Bara's Curse because I don't have the one that Hack recommended, which I think is the Beekeepers, and there was another set that I haven't collected yet out of... Ooh, I don't remember at the moment. I think it's out of the Maelstrom Arena. And if you're not familiar with Elder Scrolls Online, feel free to ask questions or just can talk about whatever you want. Alright. I need my... So, if you're new to Elder Scrolls Online or looking to get started with the latest chapter and you own it already, the easiest way to do that is you go into your collections, which by default is the U key on the keyboard, and just go into Stories. You can easily go up here to Chapter. It usually has the latest chapter for Blackwood, and just hit your Accept Quest. If you're looking at doing any of the other previous zones that have been released in prior years, you have them all here under the zone DLCs. You can go, like you can see, I've already done Orsinium. Yeah, so have I. I started it with beta, took a break first year, and then I keep coming back again. I love that they've put in the new the Seals of Endeavor with this particular chapter. So now you can do the Endeavors, which are daily and weeklies, and it'll allow you to earn seals that you can use to buy items from the crown crates. So I've already done Orsinium and a couple others. Oh yeah, Blackwood just came out at the start of the month. I'm just about to actually go and get... I've unlocked the companions on other characters. I'm going to unlock it today on this one and get started on the quest line. Right. Yep. Accept the quest for that. Perfect. Deadly secret. Yeah, I took a break, but it was mainly because of work, because I'm doing reviews and articles on a couple of different websites for like MMORPG.com, and there's been quite a few games coming out so far this year. But now that I'm getting a chance to actually get back into it, I'm also tempted to jump back into Final Fantasy XIV sometime in the next month or two. I just have to find time to actually do it. Alright, jumping back here. There we go. Oh, too many places that I've been. So we're looking at Blackwood, which is down here, just below... get that? Yep. Just below Shadowfen is Blackwood, where it starts. In between Shadowfen and Murkmire. And what's nice about it is that when you go in, they give you the one waypoint, which is right next to the start of the campaign quests. Oh, so many more sky shards to actually go and collect. Yeah, when Final Fantasy XIV first came out, I actually have the collector's edition on a shelf back here, and both my wife and I played it. And it was rough at first, and I'm glad they did the full reset on it. And I came back to it afterwards, and I enjoyed what I've played, but I never really solidly got into it. And it sounds like with the new expansion coming out later this year, it's going to improve even further, so I'm very tempted to go back and give it another good try again. I have a lot of my small gaming community that I am in that they've been playing it more lately and really enjoying it. Yeah, I'm really happy that even though I didn't play it much, I'm happy that I picked up the collector's edition. Finding these days it's harder to get collector's editions for games that are actual physical box copies. Alright, so before I get to that quest, I'm going to show you and go unlock the two companions. Yeah, I'm curious about it as well. I'm keeping an eye on it. So our first companion unlock is... The unlocks are pretty simple. First one, if you're looking to do it and get started with Blackwood, is up in this area. Way too many other games to play is what the problem is right now. Yeah, that sounds about right. We got the SWOTOR collector's edition as well, and I can't remember one that I got as collectors after that. Oh, it's a struggle not to turn off the road and pick up every quest that I see right now. I will, however, get the waystrom. My wife and I are also playing Conan Exiles right now on a private server to test out the Isle of Sipta, and it's surprisingly good. They've done a decent job with it, and in the most recent patch, they fixed up a couple of the issues that I noted in my part 1 of my review for it. All the shinies. Must stop to get them all. Oh, nice. We'll give you the private server info if you want. That being said, we up the XP gain on the servers, so you tend to level pretty fast.
My orders are to observe the ruin, not help you mount a suicidal rescue mission.
Then you can observe me kicking every fetching cultist's ass standing between me and my little brother.
But suicidal rescue missions are my specialty. Love doing those. Alright, Miri.
Who are you? Another of these useless Leowin layabouts? No, you're an adventurer like me. Don't tell me, Zagira roped you into this mess too. My little brother and I answered a job posting seeking adventurers to help explore a newly discovered ruin, only once the expedition got underway and we were all split up, our employers turned on us. I barely got away.
I love that my imp is just sitting there.
Free my little brother and the others before something terrible befalls them? I don't know if I can do this on my own, but I have to try. Can I count on your help? Or were all the questions just morbid curiosity? I can pay if I have to. There were 5, in addition to me, who got duped into this. My brother, Liam, Eolaf, a Nord warrior, Ardia, a High Elf researcher, Dijos, an Argonian scout, and Garlor, a Wood Elf adventurer. Other than my brother, I don't know a lot about them. Not much. Zagira, the woman who hired us, was charming. I didn't buy her story that her expedition was for study, but she paid half our fee up front. I figured they were just treasure hunters looking for plunder. We had no idea they were a cult.
Oh, half up front is always nice.
About the time they said, don't kill her, we need her for the ritual. And while they were trying to subdue me. Probably saved my life, though. I fought twice as hard knowing they were taking it easy on me. No one else escaped, that I know of. We didn't get far with our expedition before things went sour, but the ruin was in pretty bad shape. You'll need a grapple bow to get anywhere quickly. Fortunately, I have a spare.
I'll take care of that
They're simple
after
enough
this
to use
conversation.
if you've never tried one. Alright, but remember, you already agreed to help me. It'd be rude to back out now. But seriously, I need your help. Please don't change your mind. It's Daedric, in origin. Our employer claimed it was recently uncovered, but I have a hard time believing no one noticed until now. And despite its condition, it doesn't seem that old. Barely any overgrowth at all. None of it makes any sense. A 100 years old at most. I couldn't tell you who built it, or how it came to be demolished, though. I didn't get much time to study it before those fetching cultists tried to throw a sack over my head and drag me off. Just line up your sights with a suitable anchor point, release the bolt, and get ready to fly. Don't worry, they're pretty much designed to do all the work. The worst you'll have to worry about is underestimating the pull and spraining your neck.
You haven't used one of those bows yet. Obviously, you haven't played the last chapter. Let's see if we can touch up the sound a bit. What do I got here? Audio. Oh, that would be why I had the master volume turned down a bit. Effects volume, blah 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 blah, dialogue. Alright. How about we bump this to 70? Try that.
I won't stand in the way if you wish to help her. It'll get her off my back at the least. To hear the Dark Elf tell it, some cult lured her and her ilk to an otherworldly ruin to sacrifice them in some unholy ritual. There's no evidence of that, so most likely it's a falling out between adventuring parties vying for claim of the ruin. I'm here to keep watch on this newly discovered ruin. The Ivory Brigade has more important...
Great. Hopefully the sound will be a little bit better.
We need to reach the base camp, but be careful. I saw a lot more cultists during my escape than the ones who led me here.
Cultists. Alright, abilities I currently have. Ooh. Only at Elemental Drain 1? Now I'm embarrassed. Alright, I got Hardened Ward, Summoned Volatile Familiar, Bound Aegis, Inner Light, that's fine. I need to max that up because I haven't used it. Backbar. Unstable Wall of Storms, perfect. Lightning Flood, that's fine. Perfect. Critical Surge, and Boundless Storm. And then Thunderous Rage for ultimate. Great. Hey, buddy. Oh, Lord books. I want to read you all, but you take so much time. Ooh, lightning everywhere. Need to go back and do Maelstrom Arena again just to get my practice in. Feel like I've slowed down some over the last half a year. Say, why are they dying? That took a lot more effort than it should have. That's a bit better. Oh, if you're curious about what add-ons I'm using, I can always go into the add-ons menu. Primarily it's AUI, lore books, sky shards.
That's not our sky. It wasn't like this before. We should hurry. The bridge is out,
Good sign.
but that support looks sturdy enough for the grapple bow. The base camp should be... Eola! What are those creatures doing to him? That voice! Zagira!
Or now you've run up there.
That's
Talk to me.
Yoloth.
There we go.
One of the other adventurers Zagira duped with this setup. They've got him strung up like a new life pony guar. Survey stones my ashy arse. That's a sacrifice if I've ever seen one. We've got to do something. Zagira had us escorting her scholars around the area to place those so-called survey stones. Supposedly, they would get the layout of this place in an instant. Bunch of guar dung, clearly. It's sucking the life out of him. I damn well plan to try. It'll be dangerous, though. For Eolaf, most of all. That ritual is already feeding off of him somehow. The sudden shock of destroying the stone might kill him. We could try weakening the ritual before ending it entirely. That array by Eolaf seems to be the heart of the ritual, but the magic is being drawn to another focal point nearby. Destroying that might lighten the load on Eolaf, and the backlash of ending the ritual by force. It's the best chance of saving him. We need to stop that ritual, the sooner the better, but Eolaf's chances of surviving go up exponentially if we try picking it apart carefully, instead of smashing the central array right at the start. The grapple bow should help us search around. I don't know it. I'm making an educated guess. Daedrology is my main field of study, though I tend to avoid getting caught up in their worship and rituals. Mostly, I'm fascinated why anyone would join these fetching cults in the first place. I took an interest in the anticipations of the Tribunal and my ancestors' worship of them before the three rose to godhood. Dark elves aren't the only ones who revere Daedra alongside divines, but now's not the time for a philosophical discussion.
I do a university course in Daedrology.
That did it! The ritual's weakened! Follow me, quickly!
You don't have to tell me twice.
It worked! Sorry if that sounds too much like surprise, but I couldn't be sure if that would be enough to save Eolaf's life until we tried it. If the cult is doing this to the others, we should be able to free them too, if we're careful. It was definitely a Daedric ritual, but not your typical sacrifice. Offerings to the princes are usually quick and brutal. This was much more purposeful. I don't know what they were trying to accomplish, but they were using Eolaf's soul to power it. The Swits didn't tell us much of their plans before stabbing us in the back, but I've got a rough idea where they were taking the other stones. If we head out the other side of these corridors, we should be on the right path.
Assume the voice is not too bad now.
That was horrible. I felt like my soul was getting torn out of me, trying to pitch me into Orki's gnarled teeth. Or Dagon's, rather. Felt like all the air was sucked out of my lungs. Would have killed me if you hadn't come along. Was it always this hot in here? I'm just hired muscle. I don't meddle with magic. They were talking, though, about positioning the other stones. They sent... Haven't felt this bad since I nearly drowned in the sea of ghosts. But I can feel my strength coming back. I think I'll be good enough to move once I've caught my breath. I'll be fine. Help the others while there's still time.
Always liked the voice acting job they do in Elder Scrolls Online. Need to change this up slightly. There. There. That way I can get my buffs up first. Much better. Gamps. I love those mortars.
Hold on. I recognize that journal. It belonged to Ardia.
Vigra, paid well. Scored. Yep. Burned on you. That's shocking.
Well, I'll be. Ardia actually made a break for it. She's the last one I'd have expected to escape. 2 left feet, that one. Much as I'd like to believe she made it out, somehow I doubt it. Honestly, I'm impressed she made it this far, but my gut tells me she's still here. I think we should keep looking for the rest of those sacrificial stones. Whoever's still bound up in the cult's rituals is in the greatest danger. It's getting to the point that I hardly recognize this place. It's like the sky is on fire and everything's scorched. Did the cult come here just to destroy this place? That hardly makes any sense, but Daedra worship too often doesn't. It's possible this is all just a side effect of the ritual, not its intent. Who knows? Maybe their magic isn't just feeding on the souls of those they've captured, but everything here. All the more reason to stop them, quickly. Lava? And look, those trees! The shifting is more drastic here.
Just love how they melt so quickly at times with a lightning staff.
We caught Ardia after all. We need to free her. We need to free Ardia from that ritual before it drains her soul completely, even if it kills her. still, we should look for focal crystals nearby that are drawing power from her. Destroying them is the only way to save her life and her soul. I mean...
Reuniting you with your brother.
It helped, but there's still something drawing power from the ritual. Let's keep looking.
Yeah, right. Next. Still feels weird not having an offensive ability on my
now,
front bar.
Destroy the array. Come on, Nadia. Watch your step.
I'm just a little unsteady. Normally, I love new experiences. It's why I got into exploring. Not that one. Never, ever again. Oh, I thought I'd never see that again. Thank you. I have a great deal to add to it now. I think it's good to record all you can, good and bad. It forces you to think about what you've seen and done. Makes you more mindful of how events shape you.
Fair.
Zigira was yelling at her followers about jeopardizing the foothold when I was trying to escape. I don't quite get what she meant, but I think they're turning this place into their stronghold. And I saw Zigira when they caught me, the real Zigira. Among her followers, she dropped the mask she'd been wearing. She's a Daedra. These cultists are the usual misguided fools dabbling with things they don't really understand. They're true believers. I'll never forget how they howled for her adulation.
It looks like Ardia will be all right. Hopefully she can make a successful... I can't be certain, but Dijo, Scarlor, and my little brother Liam are still missing. We have to assume they've been captured and bound like the other two. We need to stop these rituals, and not just for their sakes. I have a theory about the purpose of these rituals. The changes to the land, the sky, the blasted heat. I think this place is being overtaken by another plane. If I had to guess, I'd say it's becoming the Deadlands. I think this ruin isn't actually part of Nirn, more like a piece of our world bottled up, and the cult is trying to fill the bottle from another source.
I like it that when you go inside any of the ruins or buildings, the environmental music in the background, it almost sounds like voices. Good job with that.
Is that... Garlor! Over here! Garlor? Oh, fetching Vec!
He doesn't look so healthy. He's done.
He's gone. Soul-shriven. I've read accounts of this happening, but I've never seen it myself. This ravaged body is all that's left of Garlor. His soul, gone somewhere far worse. This is what will happen to the others. To my little brother. Right. You're right. This isn't the time to lose it. This still hope for the others. Garlor couldn't have wandered far like this. There must be another ritual site nearby. Let's go.
Let's get rid of that. So it stopped showing up on my mini-map. Helps if I try and dodge, roll out of the way.
This is it! And they've got Dijos! This focal point is finished, but it wasn't the only one by the look of it.
Hard to pinpoint those grapple points every once in a while.
It stopped feeding on their soul. Let's do the same to the rest.
Only two? Should be.
The ritual must have several focal points nearby.
But I already destroyed the other one.
You're free! Come on!
You came back for me?
Interesting. The last time I did this with another character, when I unlocked the companions, it actually told me when the other focal point was destroyed.
Thanks to you, there will be something left for the Hist when my time finally comes. But I did not expect the Dark Elf to stick her. Dark Elves have not been kind to my Eggkin, and I have not been kind to theirs in turn. I see I judged her too harshly. I should apologize to her and her brother, if he still lives. He was taken prisoner by Zagira, personally. To the heart of the vault, she said. Further down this path. Where it leads, I cannot say. I don't even recognize this place anymore. I only know it dries my scales worse than it.
We managed to save her. I don't know if that'll improve her opinion of me. Well, my kind. But I'm glad. I wouldn't wish what happened to poor Garlor on anyone. Liam. Hang in there, little brother. We'll find you. We seem to be getting close to the heart of the cult's plot. Other than the ruins, the terrain here is unrecognizable from where we came from. I'd wager that's where we'll find him. And Zagira. No, I don't care about that hooded viper. I just want my little brother back. But if she stands in our way, I'll gladly kick her fetching ass back to oblivion. Come on, Liam needs me.
No problem, we're gonna do that anyway. Man, I love the crawling mist across the top of the sight line. Nice.
Zagira! Give Liam back, and maybe I won't fetch and kill you!
Allow me to reward you for hampering our progress. You may listen to your brother's muffled screams, unmolested, as you stand helpless before this gateway.
Damn
Yeah,
it.
nope.
She sealed the gate. That Swit's locked us out. We aren't getting that gate open by force, but I bet that mechanism plays some part. I think that
No problem. Lurking's fine. Be honest, I do the same thing half the time.
I think that did it. The gate's unsealed. Let's find Liam. Sagira, if you think a little lava is going to stop me, you've got another thing coming. This is it! We're going to save Liam and stop Sagira's plot here and now. Let's find the ritual's focal points and weaken it so we can set him free. I don't know. He's my little brother. I have to try. If it comes to it, end the ritual prematurely. I'd rather send Liam into the arms of Mother Morrowind than let Oblivion have him. Just try. Please.
Alright. Lots of pretty lens. And she dead. I feel like that may have been overkill.
But it might not be enough. Look for other focal crystals. I think that's all of them. Now, the array. Liam! Oh, thank feck. I'll get you
Miri,
out of here.
I thought I'd never see you again.
You can inform your worthless legates that we stopped the cultists. No thanks to you.
Just be grateful your little dispute didn't land you afoul of the law. Cease your meddlesome trespassing while you're ahead, and get a real job.
We did it! My little brother is safe and that backstabbing viper Sagira's plans are in shambles. Oh, I almost wish I could see what Dagon does to her for her failure, but my imagination's probably better than his anyway. We leave this useless Swit to his report and count to Zora's lucky stars. My little brother is alive and well, thanks to you. That's more than I could ask. We owe you. If you ever need anything, and I mean anything, you can count on me. I should get word that we're safe to our parents as soon as possible. I hope to see you again soon. And Liam, straight to Leyawen, you hear?
I just want a moment to catch my breath and thank your friend here, Mother.
That's Miri. Unlocked.
Thought I was finished there. Miri, too. I was praying to the three that she wasn't going to share my fate. Someone was listening, because you're a real godsend.
I see you managed to reunite Miri and Liam. I could tell the two of them were close when we met. Thank the Divines for that, because I don't know if she'd have gone to such lengths for us otherwise. No, I think she would have.
Glad to see Miri got her brother free. Gladder still you two bothered with me along the way. I won't soon forget that.
I like what some of the various characters say after you're done with a mission.
You were able to rescue Liam. I could not look Miri in the face if she had fished a bitter old lizard from the mire at the cost of her own loved one. If more dark elves were like them, there would be fewer Argonians like me.
Just adds that little bit more to the quests as you go through. Alright, so our second companion. That's the first one unlocked. The second one is down here in the southern area, right on that small island. And that's Bastion. But first of all, we want to go into collections. Actually, nope. Inventory and quick slot. And over to allies. And put Miri there. Perfect. And I can start getting her more levels. There she is.
What's on the docket? Something you need to discuss?
Now, apparently, for those who aren't familiar with companions, they are planning on expanding it further, so there'll be more companions over time. But one of the other nice things is they're going to be adding in romance options later as well. So if you like that from SWTOR and other games of a similar nature, that's going to be coming in the future.
What would you like to talk about?
Yeah, I might have gotten her far enough to actually tell me something more about her.
My dad's an antiquarian. He gave me an appreciation of cultural artifacts. Mom showed me how to find them. I prefer to treat such things with the respect they deserve. Problem, Sarah? What would you like to talk? We've already been through more together than most people I've known. Feels like I've known you forever. Not tired of you yet, though.
Wonder if there'll eventually be an option that if you do certain things, they'll bail on you.
Change of plans?
Now, the benefit of having an account where you've done a bunch of stuff. Don't have any extra equipment for her yet. Currently, she's only level 4. Happy with those skills for now. However, I can change her appearance. I'll put in here. And give a felines, maybe. Let's see. Could go with that. Yeah, I'll go with Blood Shadow. Sure. I forgot I had a camel. Nice. Yeah, perfect. Alrighty, let's go get the other companion. Feel like I'm moving slower than I should be. Why is that? Alliance War, maybe? No, I got a point there. Maybe I'm just imagining things. Oop. Oh, that's what that was for. I was wondering about that as I was running along, if they gave you a crumb trail to go and find companions.
By Azura, by Azura, by Azura!
One of the crafting locations. Nice. I'm curious about the set. Diamond's Victory. Crafting. Requires 5 traits to craft. Use an ability with a range of 7 meters that grants you range to permanently, adding 10. Well, that's not bad for an archer build. It's a public dungeon there too. Nice. I will deal with you later. Wood boss. At least I'll have some of the waypoints unlocked, so it'll make it easier to get around.
Perhaps this was not such a grand idea.
Alright.
Hey! Hey! Over here! I need some help.
With that, talk to Bastion.
I don't know which of the 8 divines sent you this way, but I'm glad to see you. The name's Bastion. Be on your guard, friend. I was accosted by a dark elf. She went into the cave hours ago, but she might return at any moment. The dark elf Tanare Vels. She's a traveler I met along the road. The cave is Deep Scorn Hollow. The entrance is over by the dock. I'm here to retrieve a fellow named Quistley Sylvel. His family sent me to find him. I think he's in trouble. Untie me, please. The Sylvels will pay well if you help me get Quistley out of whatever trouble he's in. And I could use someone to watch my back. Interested? Oh, and check the shack. I think Tanare dropped something during our struggle. Oh, thank you. Look around, would you? I'd like to examine whatever my attacker dropped.
Seen leaving the city. They join smugglers and bandits. Fair enough. Expensive signet ring. Dresses like a useless rich knob. Nice. Fancies himself a ladies' man. Brags a lot. Hopefully smugglers haven't killed him before we can collect his debt.
Did you find something? Here, let me have a look. A letter. I knew I saw something fall out of Tanare's satchel when she ambushed me. Why, this is a contract. Tanare Vels is bringing Quistley in to pay debts in Leowen. Damn it. I guess that explains why Tanare knocked me out and tied me up. Of course, that idiot Quistley would gamble away more than he had in his coin purse. He's done it before. Usually begs his parents for help, though. I ought to just let the Dark Elf have him, but it would be dishonorable. We better see if we can catch up to her. I'd like to leave her tied up and empty-handed when I drag Quistley out of here by his arrogant nose. Probably? Yes, I did. We were just idly talking on the road. It never occurred to me that someone else might be looking for that petulant brat. It's not the first time I've been asked to get Quistley out of trouble. No, not that I noticed. She said to keep an eye out for smugglers along the coast, and departed soon after. She likely just hung back and followed me the rest of the way. Foolish of me. I should have been more alert. All the time. House Sylvel has interests in a dozen cities. I travel all over Tamriel, looking after their business.
Yes, what is it?
I'm a mage by training, but I spend my days dealing with contracts and cargoes. And chasing after Quistley.
Really? That time of night, huh?
The Sylvels fostered me from the time I was small, seeing to my education and giving me a place in their home. As I grew older, Lord Sylvel employed me in the family business. What I want to do isn't important. I have an obligation.
I have an obligation too. I have to pet the kitty. Right?
I should try to hide it better, I suppose. We were raised together, more or less. Except he was the firstborn of a wealthy family, and I was the foundling they took in.
Yeah, that time of night where she reminds me of... I've been streaming for a while.
Well, it's the right thing to do. I mean, the Sylvels gave me shelter, educated me alongside Quistley, even hired a tutor for me when I showed some magical aptitude. I owe them. And if looking out for Quistley is how I pay them back, so be it.
This is different for Quistley. He's not one for any sort of rough living, other than maybe going to gambling dens and taverns in the seedier parts of town.
Probably? Yes, I did. We were just idly talking on the road. It never occurred to me that someone else might be looking for that petulant brat. It's not the first time I've been asked to get Quistley out of trouble.
My game developer site's kicking in because I noticed when I clicked on the response, it just refreshed everything and showed that it's showing that I haven't clicked on all these questions, but they're the exact same questions from before. So it's a mild glitch in what they have for the cues for programming.
All the time, friend. Mrs. Vale's
It gives you all the same responses.
should try to hide. Well, it's the right thing to do.
It's one of those little things.
A dock, an abandoned shack,
Ooh,
a cave by
I
the
see
water.
a chest.
Huh? Looks like a smuggler's den to me.
Yep, smuggler's den can wait. Lock chest. Ruby Ash Bow of Frost. Oh, that's kind of useless. Alright. Let's go into the smuggler's den.
Maybe there's more to this place than meets the eye. First time I've had to look for Quisley in such a rustic location. Not his usual style.
You notice that in Elder Scrolls, in many cases, they put books next to pools of water.
How did Quisley stand it down here? It's not what I'd call luxurious.
One of those things that just thinking about it in real life drives me mildly nuts. I have a suspicion another player's been through here
Looks like
recently.
the ruin just sunk into the ground here. Those roots. It looks like Quisley really got himself into it this time. The idiot.
Keep your voice down. Those lunatics will hear you.
Look! They have captives! We mean you no harm.
Over here.
We're looking
Let
for
me
someone.
out before these cultists kill me.
Let me out too! There's a cult of Sithis in these caves! They sacrifice people!
I would not linger here. Flee if you value your life.
Thank you. We've been here for days. You should get out of here too, stranger. These people, the Unmakers, they're crazy. I think they're preparing to sacrifice people. Why would anyone want to do such a thing? I've met no one by that name, but that doesn't mean he isn't here somewhere. The only non-cultist I've seen in days was a dark elf who sneaked by a short time ago. She motioned for us to wait and left without a word. I should go. They're cultists, I think. They follow someone called the Daughter of Sithis, and they talk about sacrifices to the Unmaker. I was on the road to Gideon when they grabbed me. Can I go now?
Before we continue, let's talk a moment. Cultists?
Talk?
That
Please.
explains some of the decoration in here. So much for the smuggler hypothesis. I didn't expect to have to fight through a nest of cultists to extract Quisley from this mess, but so be it. What's he gotten himself mixed up in now?
It's always cultists. Oh, that's nasty. Yeah, that'll take a while to heal. I had
That's good to
a
know. They worship
shoulder
god of
injury a
death,
while back.
darkness, and primordial chaos. Nothing good can come of that. Quisley's always getting into trouble, but it usually involves love or dice. He could be in real danger this time. Allowing Quisly to be dragged off to angry criminals is not much of an improvement. While Quisly might deserve it, I can't let Tenari Vales get him either. I want to try to grab one of these cultists and get some answers.
Oh, that would do it. Yep. Well, it's a good thing that he caught it.
It's a long story. Suffice it to say, I owe his family a great debt. Quisly and I were more or less raised together. The Sylvels count on me to watch out for him, or help him if he needs it. That's what the Sylvels say when they need me to help him. But he's their son. I'm just someone they raised. Forgive me if I sound ungrateful. They took me in and made sure I was clothed, educated, trained. They didn't have to do that. I've lost count. He does as he pleases. Unfortunately, what pleases him seems to land him in hot water. Every time. This, though, how Quisly stumbled into a cult's clutches, I can only guess. I'm the son of Lord Martel Hallex, the traitor.
Every time I see his last name, I can't think of anything but Halifax.
I suppose the story's not well known outside of court circles. My father was one of High King Emmerich's most trusted advisors. But when I was only a toddler, he plotted to secretly murder Emmerich and appoint himself regent. Or so I'm told. He failed, of course. Others in my family were implicated in the plot. The High King stripped House Hallex of its titles and domains. My mother died of shame. I was far too young to have been a part of it, though, so the Sylvels took me in. I wonder what this place was. It doesn't look dwarven.
No, it looks too crappy to be dwarven.
Let's corner one of these cultists. They might know what's happened to Quisly.
I'm not really with them. Don't hurt me!
You, come back here.
You there! Stop!
You'd better not lay a finger on me. You have no idea who you're dealing with.
Xanathar, give me patience.
I like that each of the characters have their own sayings. Like, most of the time, Miri says fetching.
What is the meaning of this intrusion? Who are you people? What do you think you're doing here? I warn you, I am favored by the daughter of Sithis. She will avenge every injury you inflict on me.
Yeah, right.
Quisly Sylvel? He belongs to Laleus now. She is the daughter of Sithis, and none dare defy her. Leave while you can. You're fools if you think you can save him from her.
Intimidate.
No! No! Quisly is Laleus's consort. You'll find them in the Fane of Scorn. I think the way there is back the way you came. Or maybe ahead. He's safe for now, though. They've got someone else to sacrifice today. Please, don't hurt me. They caught a dark elf sneaking around. Even now, she faces the death of the Crystal Fangs in the ritual room just ahead. But Laleus isn't there. She and her brother are in the Fane below. Your Quisly is with them, I think.
Those dark elves are pretty sneaky.
We follow Sithis, Serpent of Chaos, Unmaker, Bringer of Endings. The daughter of Sithis claims this place has been sacred to the Unmaker for years uncounted. Only when all has been consumed in the jaws of the void can the world be reborn.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
War tears the Empire apart. Daedric's sorcery scourges the land. Chaos reigns. In times such as these, what power is greater than chaos? It seemed pretty exciting and different. Now I'm not so sure. I didn't really expect all the killing.
I don't believe him. I think he knows more than he says he does. The daughter of Sithis? The Fane of Scorn? I don't believe it. Quisley's fallen in with death worshippers? Hardly. The only thing that interests Quisley is himself. Either these Sithis followers hid their true nature to lure him in, or he's so besotted with a woman that he doesn't realize he's in danger. Either way, I'd better get him out of here.
Yeah. There was an option to turn off the system message. Guess not. I'll have to take care of that later.
I'm not sure I believe this sniveling cultist, but we shouldn't let anyone get sacrificed. Not even Tenare Vels. Let's split up. You keep going, in case he's telling the truth. I'll see if I can find out more about the daughter and the Fane.
Please, I'll tell you anything you want. Just let me go. I know where a map of this place is. It's not far. Just, don't hit me.
Helpful of you. What else can you tell me?
Help! Break these crystals! Please, they're killing me!
It's always crystals. Crystals or stones or something you have to break.
Praise Vec. Thank you, stranger. Let's talk somewhere safer. Those idiots were going to sacrifice me to Sithis. Ugh, my skin still feels like I've got 1,000 tiny spiders biting me. That was horrible. Oh, and thank you. I don't know what someone like you was doing here, but I won't argue with Providence.
I was here killing cultists. That's what I was doing.
Ah, the dutiful and not terribly clever mage. I'll bet he's angry with me. I took care not to inflict any permanent damage on him, and I fully intended to set him free just as soon as I finish here. It's business, not personal. Then you understand my predicament. I need Sylvel if I want Law's Tull off my back, but it's not worth getting myself killed over. Help me get out of here and I'll help you. I got to look at a map, so I think I know where you can find Sylvel. Not much. Law's Tull suspected that Quisley was hiding out in a smuggler's cave on the coast. I thought I'd have to check them all. Then I ran into your friend, Bastion. I knew there was something off about the smuggler story, though. It didn't fit. He must be in deep, if Law's Tull is willing to write off what I owe to get his claws on Quisley. Too bad for him, but it's a chance for me to get out of a bad situation. Law's Tull makes a good living from other people's mistakes. Or desperation. I borrowed gold against imagined winnings like every gambler ever. You ask a lot of questions. Not to be rude, but I'd really rather find Quisley and get out of here. These cultists already tried to sacrifice me once, after all.
They're cultists. What did you expect them to do?
I found notes left behind by some unfortunate scholar. He'd apparently come here to make a survey of the ruins. I hope he had the good sense to retreat when he found fresh evidence of a cult presence. More likely, he came to a bad end. I did. It's all the way down at the end of this maze, naturally. The scholar's notes hinted that it's an abandoned temple, once dedicated to Sithis. Well, probably not abandoned now. Good. I saw a rough map of this place before I got caught, so I think I know where to go. I'll keep out of your way if we run into more cultists.
Which more cultists?
Don't like your odd condition for a fight.
Yeah, I got new companion gear. What the hell? What did I get?
Hope we find something interesting today.
That's not what I got. And then yeah, repair items. Nope, 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 nope. Companion items. I got a ring. Nice. Blue. Unequip, increased damage done, so it's aggressive. Not bad.
Something you need to discuss?
Oh. Yeah, like I said earlier, I have a tendency to lurk sometimes, but I'm getting better about it. You'll see my face online a lot more often now. It still bothers me that the companion items are part of your inventory and don't have an inventory of their own. Yeah, I have my sub active now. It's just for the crafting bag. It's worthwhile as long as you're playing regularly.
Oh, damn. A dead end and a vampire in a cage. This isn't terribly helpful. There's got to be a way through. I know what I saw on the map. Maybe the map showed a passage that isn't here?
I tend to take the crowns that I get from subs and then buy the DLC so I can still play it if my sub lapses.
You're not part of this cult, are you? In fact, you appear to be lost. Your dark elf friend watches me with no small amount of suspicion. Perfect.
Hope we find something interesting.
Up to you first.
I would have sworn the map I saw showed a passage here. Unless...
Yeah, we're actually looking forward to Palia once we get more information about it.
Why don't you see if the vampire knows anything?
I just did the article for the announcement about it this past week on MMORPG, and it's looking like it could be good. I want to see more gameplay, though. that's going to be a lot of crafting and a lot of exploration.
If he's been here long enough, he must have seen cultists coming or going through any hidden passages. But be careful with him. I don't trust vampires. You're an exception to my rule.
Yeah,
You saved me once
you,
already today.
me, my
and
wife,
you haven't taken advantage of the fact that those crystals
about
left me
8 to
weak
9
as a
other
kitten.
guild members or community members have
there are
already signed up.
vampires, and there are vampires.
Your comrade is correct. There's a hidden door. Your dark elf friend watches me with no small amount of suspicion. Perfectly understandable, but I'm not a slave to my hunger. Why are you wandering around Deepscorn Hollow anyway? The daughter of Sithis is fond of sacrificing strangers. I have heard the name. The daughter of Sithis herself has him. These miserable Sithis pretenders. I can show you the passage you seek. I'll consider it payback for the way they locked me up.
I'll be curious to see how large their alpha actually ends up being.
They hid the switch for a secret door under that crate over there by the wall. Clever, if one is a child. I cannot believe I thought these weak-minded fools might have a genuine insight into the dark mysteries of Sithis.
And what type of alpha it actually ends up being. Because I've noticed that for a lot of companies that are doing development, alpha kind of comes in 2 different flavors now, where there's your raw alpha, where they're just developing the game loops and putting them together, and then you're getting in really early on the ground floor. And then there's more your curated alpha, where you have your full experience in there, and they've implemented most of the core systems and are starting to refine them further at that point. I don't know. When I asked in the interview, we did a Q&A session with them for the developers. And when I asked about dungeons, they were kind of, well, we have some idea for dungeon-like content or dungeon scenario or dungeon instance type content, but that'll be going in after release. It looks like they're going to be really concentrating on a kind of compact size for the location that you're in to start with, and then building on the world over time. And they really emphasized that they wanted to develop a story with the world as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how they do that, and if there's kind of adventuring to go out and do, or if it's just you go out, explore, and make your own adventures by doing game hunting and component gathering and stuff like that.
Lalace is a noble from Leowen who made a game of dabbling in dark lore. As I understand it, she found this place and managed to wake a presence that had been sleeping here for ages. She surrendered to the darkness eagerly. I doubt that it cared.
I did like that it looks as if almost every activity in Palia is going to be cooperative. So if you want to help somebody with cooking, or you want to help somebody with some other type of crafting ability, you'll be able to step in and either help them out, or if they complete a phase, you'll be able to go in and complete the next phase of the crafting. Yeah, they did mention that Stardew Valley was one of their inspirations, along with several other games, and they mentioned something about The Sims as well. I included it in the article. And one other thing they said was the multiplayer of Minecraft, which they didn't elaborate it on a whole lot more, but I don't know.
fools and dilettantes bewitched by the daughter's powers. They believe she is the living embodiment of Sithis' dark will, servant of an ancient power. But the only power she serves is her own avarice and lust, like any greedy mortal.
I'll be curious to see, because they're going to start out with you having your little plot in the village that you wake up near, because you're meant to wake up in this set of ruins as a human, and then you go over to the village and they give you an old rundown piece of land to build up. I don't know if it'll be quite like that. SWG was kind of an entity unto itself in some ways.
Surprisingly helpful.
Hey, another player already kicked the crate. Yeah, destroy the invisible crate.
Perhaps before you rush off, you might unlock this cell? A favor in return for my showing you the switch? Let me again assure you, I'm in control of my urges. I shall not harm you.
I did love the crafting in SWG. When I went back to play it on some of the fan servers that are out now, there's a couple of them that it's not too bad, but the original crafting, I forgot how much clicking it took just to get through some of the menus unless you macroed everything.
I came here hoping the temple held answers about my condition, but the cultists discovered me as I fed upon an unwary noble from Gideon.
Keeping on an eye.
The daughter of Sithis was intrigued, but when she realized I had not yet mastered my powers, she locked me away.
I'm keeping an eye on Pantheon Rise of the Fallen as well, because it's going to be the spiritual successor to EverQuest, the original. And it's starting to shape up pretty good. It's not too bad looking now.
Yes, that would be an elegant solution to my predicament.
Yeah.
I'm afraid that I'm rather new to this state of being. I haven't figured out that trick yet.
I would love to see an SWG updated for the current day with just new game systems implemented. I know that some of the legacy, or not legacy servers, but some of the fan servers have continued to update content, but it would be nice to see an overhaul of like the graphics and everything else. I remember talking to one of the developers and them mentioning some of the problems they had on the back end with the game. And it's just things that you would need to go in and correct in the core coding. And it would be great to see an updated version, but I don't think it would ever happen.
I'm still capable of gratitude, stranger. I just want to be free of this place. I came here expecting something quite different. Perhaps before you rush off, you might unlock this cell? A favor in return for my showing you the switch? Let me again assure you, I'm in control. I came here, yes, I'm still capable. Perhaps before you rush off.
I gotta help out my buddy vampire. Vampires have to stick together.
Thank you. Perhaps the friend you seek might still be alive.
Oh, nice.
I knew it. I never grow tired of being correct. This should take us right to the cult's hidden temple. Come on! Hold up a moment before we go on. I've been thinking. I stumbled headlong into a bad situation once already. I do try to learn from my mistakes. I've been thinking. there's a good chance we won't find Quisley Sylvel alive. Nothing good. I wouldn't go so far as to say that it comes down to bringing Quisley in, or taking his place, but it's close. I really need to be free of Lost Hull. I barely persuaded him to give me this chance. I won't get another one. This may sound ghoulish, but if Quisley is dead, I'd like his signet ring. It's big, gold, and set with rubies. If I bring it back to Lost Hull, it will show that I held up my end of our bargain, and he would take it in payment of my debt. Someone's coming!
Oh, there you are. I'm afraid I wasted my time on that cultist. He knew nothing. Glad I caught up to you. Oh, I see you found that Tenare. Watch your back, friend. You put the fear of the gods into our captive cultist. He was sobbing on the floor when I gave up and left. I did meet a surprisingly talkative vampire, though. He told me which way you went. And seriously, do not turn your back on Tenare.
I've been tempted a few times to give Star Citizen a shot.
Figures. My guess is he told her his family is wealthy, so she's keeping him alive for ransom. We'll probably find them in the shrine they call the Fane of Scorn.
I have a hard time supporting the amount of money they've made at this point. I mean, I hope the game comes out, and I hope it's actually it's spectacular when it does. I can see it being more enjoyable in some ways than Elite Dangerous. I've played Elite Dangerous a few times, and I can't get into it.
She seems like the sort who expects the worst. I remain optimistic. I don't always get along with Quisley, but I don't want him to end up sacrificed by the cult, or turned into some crime boss's object lesson for that matter.
Still tempted to pick up No Man's Sky at some point, because not only can I play it on stream if I want to, but I also have a Quest 2, and apparently it's quite good in VR.
Not at the cost of his life. I'll figure out something. I always do. But just in case, warn Tenare that she'd better not try anything foolish when we get Quisley. She caught me off guard once. It won't happen again.
One of the reasons I picked up Elite Dangerous, actually, is because it's got VR support.
You're not even going to apologize, are you?
I'm sorry?
Just keep your distance from Quisley. He's my responsibility.
I love her apology. Oh, I'll give it a try at some point. I mean, one of the things I was thinking about with Star Citizen is just getting, because I think they still have like a base copy available, don't they, for like $40 or something. And I was debating about going that route. That way, when it comes out, I just have access to a copy and can go from there. I really want to see them succeed just because, I mean, I have fond memories of the original games. And yeah, $30 isn't bad for a base copy. It's the multiple $1,000 ships that get to me. I mean, if you got the extra money, what you want to spend it on it, go for it. They're running their alpha right now, aren't they? Or is that on hiatus at the moment?
I'm no use in a fight right now. I'll keep back.
Go away.
Oh, okay, so basically just gives people a jump ahead.
Arise, my brother. Kill these trespassers.
That's your brother, lady? You got problems. Ah. Yeah.
I need to grab Quisly before he runs off again. The little bastard.
How dare you? Lalise would never have hurt me. She said so.
She murders people, you idiot! You were probably next.
I'm not talking to you, Bastion. Nor to that rude dark elf that just laughed at me.
She more snorted than laughed.
You spoiled everything. You and that lumbering oaf my father insists on sending to make my life miserable, and whoever that dark elf is barging in and ruining my life. Who do you people think you are?
Have they updated their release date yet for Squadron 42?
Well, that's just your opinion. Everybody here treated me as a guest of honor. And Lalise, the daughter of Sithis, chose me to be her consort. She told me that she'd give me the kiss of Sithis soon. Why would you ruin this for me? That is no concern... Wait. Did you say Lars Tull? Is that why the Dark Elf's here? I've seen her in his headquarters, oh dear. I may owe him some gold. I can't believe they sent Bastion after me again. They treat me as if I were a wayward child. I am perfectly capable of managing my own affairs. I refuse to go.
There's like no option to punch him yourself.
Claim me. I am not some sack of flour to be bargained over. Oh, very well. Bastion works for me, indirectly. I'll go with him. I can write a promissory note for the Dark Elf to deliver to her thug of a boss. He's a terrible person.
Bastion doesn't seem very fond of Quisly. I can't imagine why. We compared notes while you were talking with that simpering idiot. Bastion said he might have an idea that would solve things for both of us. Years ago, I lost everything trying to get my brother out of a fishy trading scheme. Lars Tull offered to help me. I'm still paying for it. It would be if Bastion's willing to work with me, and perhaps forget about the knocked out and tied up business. I think we might have room for a compromise.
Once we get
Hopefully
Quisly
we'll
out of
hear
here,
something in
I'm
October.
done. I've paid my debt to his family 3 times over. All right. I think I know how to sort this out. If Tenare is prepared to listen, that is, I'm willing to overlook the knock on the head to settle this. First, we need to get Quisly out of Blackwood. Tenare doesn't have anything personal against him. Well, no more than anyone else who meets him. But the criminals she'd bring Quisly to might kill him.
That's a lot of updates.
I'll threaten to tell his parents about this whole affair unless he cooperates and goes straight back to Daggerfall.
Quisly knows that Lord Sylvel can cut him off. It's the only threat that actually scares him. He would have to earn a living. I think we can all walk away from this. We ship Quisly home, secretly. Then we make sure that Tanare has something she can take back to Lars Tull. Thank you, friend. I think Lord Sylvel would agree that you've earned your payment. What do you think, Tanare? Are you willing to give it a try?
I'll need to bring Lars Tull proof of Quisly's demise.
What kind of proof would you need?
I'm clearly not dead!
If I bring Quisly's signet ring to Lars Tull, he'll believe me.
That's what I was thinking. I'll tell the Sylvels that Quisly sold the ring to pay his debt.
I'm right here!
That ring should work. It might even cover most of Quisly's debt.
What? My ring? I'm not giving you a damn thing! Bastian, keep that woman away from me!
Well, it's not too bad.
Here you go. I'll make sure Quisly understands to stay away from Blackwood.
Thank you. This should clear my account with Lars Tull. And perhaps clear yours with this ingrate and his family too.
We should leave this place. I'll see Quisly on his way when he comes around.
I know that they're developing a lot of the tech from the ground up for the game. Ooh, more lore books. Nice. Nocturnal's Ever Black Coffee. Nice. Do I actually have that as a, already as a recipe? Where's my consumables? I already know it. Oh well. Didn't even notice it before. No, I'm happy to try almost any game as long as it's, the only ones that I'm not overly enthused about are mostly, mostly Battle Royale games just don't hold my interest very much. I mean, when Fortnite was first coming out and it was more of a PvE style game, absolutely loved the development direction they were taking, and then they just swapped over to Battle Royale and the rest is history. Nice. I assume the feel, I mean, it is a sci-fi style game, but I assume the feel of it is nothing like Eve or anything of that nature. It's got its own feel. MOBAs, I've played a few of them. They're not too bad. There's a couple of Battle Royales that I've played that aren't too bad, but they have to have some kind of PvE element to hold my interest. I much prefer, if you're doing a competitive style game, that it's more you're doing things against the environment. Yeah, so am I. Very much so. I mean, I was looking at the Crowfall closed beta this past week, going, there's stuff there that might be interesting for a PvE. Oh. Yeah, I was just saying that I'm very much a PvE player as well. Oh, frames are dropping out. That's not so good. I wonder if I'm losing a connection. looks like it's cleared up some. We'll see if it continues to drop. Yeah, I'm wondering if I lost connection there for a minute. Oh, okay. I don't feel... I was like, am I losing connection? I don't know. Oh no! No, what I was saying earlier was I'm very much a PvE player, and if it's a Battle Royale or MOBA, it really has to have... Yeah. It really has to have PvE elements to kind of hold my interest for very long. And I was looking at the Crowfall closed beta, and it's been tempting to try it, but everything I read about it is if you're not interested in PvP at all, then it's definitely not a game to get into. I'm going to talk to my main quest line first.
If the counselor is in Leowin or the surrounding countryside, the Ivory Brigade will find her. You there! A moment of your time, please. Not now, citizen. Can't you see I have my hands full at the moment? I'm sure a guard or one of my brigadines can assist you.
But you just asked for a moment of my time. What the hell? Crowfall? The closed beta they have going on?
Why didn't you say so? Leowin's problems are legion, and now the Wood Elf Archer's predictions seem to be coming true. Damn these old Imperial secrets. Counselor Jirik has disappeared, and the Ivory Brigade is already spread too thin for my liking. The Wood Elf, Everly Sharparrow. She brought news that the Dark Brotherhood was targeting members of the Elder Council. All because of some secret of the Longhouse Emperors. We took her warning seriously, but Jirik refused Brigadine protection. With that guild of assassins, I'm not sure what to think. But Jirik is missing, and I don't have enough Brigadines at the ready to conduct the proper search. You look capable. So, care to earn some gold and help us determine the Counselor's fate? Here, let me update your map. These are places Jirik visits during her daily routine. If something befell her, it happened somewhere along this path. Meanwhile, I have Everly Sharparrow checking locations in the city. She was very eager to help. Counselor Jirik was a member of the Imperial Elder Council, back when we still had an empire. Now her title is mostly ceremonial. But she continues to assist the legates by serving as an intermediary with the local nobility.
That's no problem. Sometimes I miss words and I'm not hard of hearing.
Since the collapse of the Empire and the dissolution of the Elder Council, Leowin has become an independent city-state. Countess Caro sits on the throne, but the Chamber of Legates governs the city. I suppose the Countess is technically the highest authority in Leowin, but she leaves the administration of the city to the Chamber of Legates. Leviticus, another former council elder, leads this august body, along with Tebeziko and Amhalu. Counselor Jirik is a creature of habit. Her daily routine is to stroll along the river and stop to read near a cave across the way. While Everly Sharparrow examines spots the Counselor frequents in the city, you should check these locations. On paper, Countess Caro rules Leowin, but in practice, the Chamber of Legates governs the city. Legates Tebezako and Amhalu, and Counselor Leviticus. They handle day-to-day tasks. Me? I'm commander of the Ivory Brigade, Leowin's militia. Indeed. Since the fall of the Empire, the Ivory Brigade had to redouble its efforts to replace the Imperial legions. We maintain active defenses in the north to keep the ongoing war at bay, but we have our hands full with refugees, bandits, and such. The Three Banners War. Let the alliances fight over the Ruby Throne as long as they leave us in peace. I just wish I had more soldiers to spare for this new threat that Everly Sharparrow brought to our attention. Interesting. She arrived a short time ago with a tale straight out of a mystery novel. She said that Emperor Leovic's former steward had been murdered by the Dark Brotherhood, killed over some secret pertaining to the Longhouse Emperors. Ah, then you must be the associate she was waiting for. She'll be glad to hear that you've arrived.
Lee.
Everly presented her evidence to Counselor Leviticus, that the members of the Elder Council were in danger. He decided the threat was credible. Counselor Leviticus has kept her close, while the two of them try to make sense of this so-called secret. I have yet to be made privy to the details. With Jirik's disappearance, I'll send Everly to check places the Counselor frequents in the city. On paper, Countess Caro rules Leowin, but in practice, the Chamber of Legates governs the city. Legates Tebezako and Amhalu, and Counselor Leviticus. They handle day-to-day tasks. Me? Indeed. The Three Banners War. Let the...
Alright. Walk over to there. I'm gonna call it there tonight, folks. So thanks for hopping in and joining me. We got both companions unlocked, and I think on Saturday, 7 PM Eastern, I'll be back on, continuing the Blackwood chapter. If you haven't subscribed and hit the bell for notifications, that would be much appreciated. And for this week, I hope you're enjoying with whatever games you're playing. So we'll see you again on Saturday. Have a good night, folks.